Our property is basically two mountains. That's one mountain. That's the other mountain up there by John. This is the in-between. We call it the saddle. It's a really cool area.
Saddle
and
is the trail at the top.
Yeah, the trail right there kind of goes in between. We call it the saddle.
Hey Meg, this is the holler.
Okay.
Okay, some fine folks out there would know exactly what I'm saying. This is the holler.
That goes down to the orchard. And the road is that way. And in the holler saddle area, there is that tree. We have shown you this tree before. This tree is John's nemesis. He has before spent an entire day trying to get this tree down and was unsuccessful. This morning he said, "I need to talk to you." And I said, "It's not about the tree, is it?" It was about the tree. He wants the tree down. Which makes, for good reason, it is unsafe. However, getting it down is also unsafe. And it is so hard to walk up there, especially carrying a camera. It's very steep. Today is the day. We have to explain to you why this tree is such a problem.
Let's go up there.
Let's go up there and we'll explain it to you. It's almost like you have to hold on to things to walk up this. Because it's so steep. Carmen, get down. See, this is part of the reason. Carmen, get down. She has like a 10-foot drop right now. Part of the reason we got to get this down. The dogs think it's a bridge. Okay, here's the other side of our log. Reminiscent of Dirty Dancing. No river though. So this is the issue. It's came from over there, fell from there, goes all the way across here. There's 3 trees involved. The big bridge one that we want to get down, this one here, which is a dead tree that's resting in that little V on that tree. And we can't cut either of these because everything would fall on you because of the incline here. It goes way, way down. We've tried to cut this tree before. That wasn't successful. Everything still stayed where it was. So John has a new plan. Which is what, John?
I was going to do a come along. All right, so here's the problem. Yes, easiest way to do it, get your chainsaw, do an upcut on it. That would crack this log this way, but then this is coming down at you. See, I'm well below, I'm not even underneath it. Like, look how high up that is. I'm 6 feet tall, that's like 9 feet in the air. That's Sasquatch size, height-wise. So, we have a couple options here. We could take this, hook a snatch block and a come along, double the force of the come along, and then we're pulling this leaning tree up the hill a little bit, causing that section to come off of the little wishbone or the V that it's in right now. So if we could do that, this whole tree would come down and everybody's out of harm's way being uphill. The other option is to go to the end of it where I cut the stump off from its roots initially and try to just get that moving a little bit. Maybe something will happen. Maybe it'll click it. Maybe it'll break this leaner here. I don't know. This is an old walnut right here.
Is it?
It looks like it, yeah. Very old. I mean, from the color and the texture.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the easiest way, let's go try to pull the tree just with the come along, just a little bit out of, uphill, and see if we could get this thing to crack or to slide, something.
We have the come along hooked up without a snatch block. So just give it a try like this, see how it goes.
Did I see movement?
Yeah. It's moving a little bit.
Is it moving there?
Oh, it's moving. It's at least shaking. Attempt number 2.
Moving at all?
I think so.
No?
No, I think it is. Jack, it's stuck in there now. Don't pull on it.
It worked?
It did. It moved. It's going. Carmen, stay. Where's Maddie? Okay, she's good. You did it! Wow!
It was just the friction. That's awesome. Oh, man. Go change my pants real quick. Instead of letting this tree rot in the woods, I did this once with a walnut tree. I cut it open, there was a little bit of rot on the outside, the inside was like spectacular. It's a really big tree. What we're trying to do is make a, I'm not even gonna call it a deck, it's a platform for our camper. We'll call it a deck.
Temporary deck.
It's not gonna be attached to anything, it's just gonna sit on the ground, but we're gonna make a platform so that when you walk out the camper door, you don't have to step down the metal steps into the mud, the wet grass and all that stuff. You could actually have a wooden platform. We're gonna use oak. This is really nice oak. I have high hopes for it, and it's better than just leaving it out here. So, hey, if it's not good wood, we could always cut it up for firewood. So, I'm gonna make a few cuts. We're gonna get these to the mill. I'm gonna cut it right at this bulge somewhere around here. Yeah, this feels good. So when I cut this, I'm gonna cut it. I'm just gonna create a quick little cut right here and then upcut the whole thing, because the tree, it's gonna go like that and put pressure on the top. So once it does that, the saw will be out of harm's way, because the bottom will be opening. It won't pinch the blade or the bar. Let's go get it. Walked all the way down the mountain, got the helmet. I'm not worried about what you guys are gonna say. I gotta answer to Meg. And she does the video editing, so she would know if I didn't wear my helmet. All right. So I measured 16 plus, maybe like 17 feet or so. I'm gonna cut about here. Hopefully it'll fall on the ground. This whole piece over here might tumble down the hill. I don't know. I'm gonna upcut it. Let's do it. down exactly, but we'll get the cant hook and push it down. Tractor's over there, so we got a ways to go. Oh, I'd go for a winch. Holy shnikes. All right, there's the tractor. Get to, goal is to just get it in that area. Yes. That's better. Okay. Got the log is like all the way up where that sunshine is up there. I have it on a cord. It's on the backhoe. As you know, I broke my backhoe before being an idiot. And so what I'm trying to do is stop and curl the backhoe in. Drive forward, letting the backhoe out, and then pulling it in again. So not towing it by the backhoe, but stopping and just kind of like, you know, doing what the backhoe is made for. All right, that cable was definitely the way to go. I just wrapped it around it, tied a knot, and dragged it down the cliff here, and it goes way up, guys. I know the camera can't do justice, but that's really steep. So I have that looks like a good 9-foot log there of oak by, I don't know, maybe 14 inches or so. So I got 3 of them here. I'm hoping there's some hidden gold here. I know there's some rot on the outside, but I see some really bright red on the inside. So I'm gonna pack up. I'm gonna get one of these at least, maybe a couple of them to the mill. The mill is way down that way, through and up and around and well on that side of the mountain. So I got some work to do. Sun's going down. So let's do this. You could say what you want about Ricky, but this attachment is 450 pounds and that log, at least 350, at least. Mm-hmm. It's a strong little tractor, 24 horses. Good job, Ricky. I didn't realize it was that long. I could cut more off here. We only need 8 feet, so if we measure...
Oh my goodness! For the first time in history, you actually
just ran like
for your
this.
tape and had it.
It's like I had a Glock on my side. You know what I mean?
Oh wow, that's really a first.
All right, for those of you who don't know what's going on, we almost named our channel "Where's My Tape?"
Because he can never find his tape.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Good. Because it curves right here. I could cut it right here. That's good.
Oh, is that the sun?
What is this, a Meg Pro tip?
Yes, Meg Pro tip. If your sawmill is muddy, spread the sawdust on top of the mud and it dries it out.
Cool, dude. That'll make it a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's better.
Much better. We're probably gonna move the sawmill one day, guys. Doing it up here, it's muddy in the winter and it's excruciatingly hot in the summer. That way is south, and the sun goes over that way all day long, and there's nothing protecting you. And yeah, it's really hot. We might put it down where the garden was, and that way it's out of sight off the road. And it'd be a lot cooler for me to work and closer to all the woods. There's a lot of benefits, so this might just be a open field area. Now that we have most of it cleaned up, we got a lot of burning to do and some firewood processing, and I got to go through that stack right there in the front. That one. Got to go through that, figure out what I need to keep and mill. Hey Meg, I saw some little critters crawling all over the mushroom shack we made.
Little critters?
Yeah, little birds and stuff.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they're checking it out. Oh. All right, let's get milling, Meg.
Yeah. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
I don't know. We will see. This looks rotten right here. More of it is soft than I would prefer. And now it's like decision time. Let's take another cut and see if we get more out of this section here.
Log number 2.
2. Nice, a little bit more. Almost there.
Tell me when.
Keep going.
Oh!
Almost. Come on, a little bit more.
Oh boy!
Come on. Good. Oh! Okay, good. think?
I mean,
Well, that's 1 inch. That's 5/4.
Oh, that's true.
I don't like that.
Bad news. The log is too rotten to use. John, just put it down. We're gonna try to find a different log over here.
I think these have lost their time to mill.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go for a walk.
So I'm getting suited up, guys. We're gonna take down a tree. The oak tree that we just unwedged from that was hung up on the other 2 trees. We put it on the mill, we cut it, as you can see, and there was just too much rot on the outside. And I didn't feel good about using that as a deck material. We wanted to use it as floorboards, so we've waited too long. We can't use that. So we found a very straight poplar that's among several other poplars on the property back here. And we're gonna fell it this direction. And we
Which
haven't
direction?
shown this yet. This is our kind of cemetery of debris. This came all from the road. When you watch the my tractor video that they can build roads, we put it all back here. We might chip it, might just let it rot or put soil over it for compost. I don't know.
It's also like our outdoor fire pit gathering.
Yeah, grab a
area.
chainsaw and just cut a few pieces, bring them with you, and you got some firewood for a fire pit. But it's all in one place. We're trying to keep it neat on the property, but we had to designate an area for something like this. So
We're past the first switchback here.
yeah, so if you take our driveway and go right past the first switchback, you end up back here.
What we also call the Western Trail.
Western Trail.
This
yeah.
trail is, if you want to call it a trail, it's really overgrown, but if you keep going that way, it brings you to the west side of the very edge of the property all the way up to the house site, but it's very steep. We could never do the road that direction. And there's a lot of water that goes over it because there's a stream right here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make my wedge on this side and have it fall right here. I'm looking around, and if I could put it right on top of this cedar tree here, over here, that's the ultimate goal. That way it's a minimal disturbance to the rest of the forest. All right, let's get this one down. We're going that way. So yesterday, something happened, and we want to keep this channel real, because I'm sure all of you have had a tree not fall the way you want it to, and that happened to me yesterday, and the tree didn't even come down. Started cutting it, and it is still standing there. I was hoping it was down. So this thing never fell. It's got to be 80 feet tall. Oh man. But it's at a point now I just have to wait for it to get windy to take it down, because it's just, here, let me show it to you. I wanted it to fall this way. Where the dogs are. Right there. I was gonna put it right there. And there's the tree. And it's literally right on the property line. And it's a big poplar. It's straight as an arrow and would really give me a lot of good lumber for what we want to build. And yeah, I started cutting the wedge and I did some relief cuts on the side to take the strain off. And on my back cut, I just didn't have a good slight angle down. It was more horizontal. And what the tree did is go that way toward that hill. That's my neighbor's hill. I gave them a call. My neighbor is well away from here. But anyway, I gave him a call and just told him, hey, I was cutting a tree and it's going to be falling on your land. He just said, just let it fall. He even actually offered to help us out getting it out of the woods when it does fall. But we're not going to need the help. We have the backhoe. But we're just waiting for this thing to fall. All right, so stay tuned for this guy. He will come down and we will probably use at least 90% of that tree. It's very straight, perfect size for a sawmill. And yeah. All right, this is our western trail. Nice little trail, huh?
We had some pretty gusty winds last night. Taking a hike to see if the tree fell.
It looks like we're gonna have to get it down. I really don't think it's down.
Oh, man!
Is it still up?
Still up!
Yeah, I see it. Oh, man. What a pain. I guess there's more holding that up than I thought. Alright guys, so I put it was all about the back cut. Alright, so I had this creek here. I don't want to make excuses, okay? If you're somebody who cuts every tree down and it goes perfect every single time, well, let me give you a round of applause. I've dropped many, and this is see what happened there? So here's the back cut. I had it going down this way, but I think on the other side I just, I'd like to come out like 2 inches here. Maybe I just didn't have an aggressive enough angle on the back cut. Maybe this was too flat. I don't know. Yeah, this is pretty acute right here. I like to come down and then I'll also have an angle right here and then the back cut come off to that way. I don't know. Man. I removed some stress points here. Maybe that's what messed me up. Maybe the wedge just wasn't deep enough. I went about 1/3 in. Anyway. We now take a log and push it from this side. I don't want to do that because if that log slips or if I like push it that way and then it like gets momentum back this way, I don't think that's the safest option. What I do think would be safe is getting a step ladder when it is not windy, getting something up there on the trunk so that we could put a snatch block on it, pull it this way, the way we want to. Now you're thinking pull it toward yourself, you're crazy. No, get the snatch block, change direction, pull it well down that trail. I have a really long aircraft cable and I'm just talking a 2-to-1 ratio here.
We just need to encourage it, I think.
I think if we just get it heading in that direction this way, we might put it exactly where we intended to all along. But I'll tell you one thing, I am not going to get my chainsaw, Mom, and getting anywhere near that thing. I just have to get a chain on it. And I think the best thing to do is just do that in calm conditions. All right, Meg, I think we have a plan.
We do have a plan. We're gonna go from, there's our tree there. We're gonna go from this tree.
Okay.
And we're going to go over to the tree, get it as high as we can, put a snatch block on that. So this is gonna be our anchor tree over here. And then we're gonna take the line and go this way over to here.
I think over to here. This
That
little
one?
tree. Yeah, just at the very, very bottom. It'll be fine.
Is that too far over? We don't want to be rubbing.
It's not. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. That's almost like 180 degrees.
Yeah. All right. So then we'll come to this tree here.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna zigzag a little bit. This isn't gonna give us any advantage, but it's gonna help us change the direction that we're gonna pull from. So we're gonna come over there to that poplar.
Let me point to it on the screen right there.
Yep.
Base of that one. And then this trail kind of loops around, but it goes way up there. We'll walk over there and show you where we're at. But it goes way up there where I think we can reach the cable. We're going to be using we have an aircraft cable, and I think we're just going to run the whole thing. It's like 100 yards long, that thing. And what I think we should do, once we get the end of the cable over there, I mean, even if this tree fell at us, like we'd be more than three times its distance away. So whatever. But we'll get the line taut with the backhoe. Anchor the backhoe down. I'm not going to tow with the backhoe. But what I think I should do, get everything taut and then just anchor down, put the stabilizers down, pull with the backhoe, and then once I see movement, release the cable. That's about as safe as I can do it.
And release the cable, because if for some reason the tree goes back the other way,
right,
it won't pull the tractor.
Right.
Or the backhoe off.
And if it does that, I'll just jump off the tractor. I mean, whatever. Whatever happens, happens. I'll just get out of the way. What do you think?
That sounds like a plan.
Them apples.
That was awesome.
I mean, like a boss.
Yep.
Oh, that I didn't even graze another tree. That was cool. Plan came together, Meg.
Sure did.
Look at that. Look at it. Carmen, come here, Carmen. You like the new tree? Okay. Good girl. Good girl. Meg, good plan. Awesome.
Perfectly executed.
Yeah, it was great. So I just drove back. I didn't have another camera on me. I drove that way till the line was taut, extended out the backhoe arm, and then just curled it in and pulled the whole thing down. So, beautiful tree. Let me show you what was holding this thing on. So yeah, this is where I went wrong. My back cut, oops, I mean even my wedge and my back cut were pretty much at the same angle. I don't know, I'm not a tree feller, guys. I'm sure this has happened to some of you, but that's why I didn't want to get too close to this thing. So, all right, that came down wonderfully. We'll start processing this guy up. It looks like a really nice tree. And I think, based on the way this trunk looks, it's got a little tiny bend at the end of it. And it's got this weird growth over here. So I think I'm going to start here. It's kind of tricky when you take a log for a sawmill. I mean, ideally you want this end and that end to be very similar. So if it's like, you know, you grab something from the trunk and then the tree quickly goes like this, it's kind of useless. So I might just get a few nice fire logs out of this piece. And yeah, poplar, this is a poplar tree. I think it's yellow poplar, but I've also heard the term tulip poplar, but I thought tulip poplar is something totally different. So I'm pretty sure this is yellow poplar. My dad used to do this all the time. He used to take a stick like this, and now this tree's gonna go like this. It's gonna fall, and this is gonna pinch. My dad used to, I used to watch him do this and wonder what the heck he was doing. Of course, I was like 6 at the time, but he just shoved this tiny stick in the space, in the gap, and then prevent the blade from getting pinched. I don't do it as good as him, but we'll give it a shot. Cut, and it's looking yummy. Look at this. I mean, it just doesn't get cleaner than that. Crazy awesomeness. All right, use my can hook. Should be called the can hook. I know, can't is the bar. I know. Dad jokes. Whoa, Nelly, let's not do that. Here, let's get my spacer out of here. Use a spacer on the first cut. Set up my guard here. Alright, now I'm gonna... Alright, this is the way I do it, guys. I cut the top nice and flat. This is gonna wind up being on the bottom. So you gotta cut 2 cuts before you can, well, I guess 3 cuts before you can cut something out of production. I can't tell you how much this thing is like worth its weight in gold. It really is. It's you don't want to operate a sawmill without a cant hook. So I got this one from Northern Tool about a year ago, and I've left this thing outside ever since, and it seems fine. Nice metal. I remember something was wrong with it. Oh, it was missing this screw. That's what it was. So I just screwed it in. But yeah, it works good. All it does is spin some logs around. It's nice and heavy duty though. All right, let's try to get this mill started again. I'm prepping for the second cut. All right, I got my left side against the posts of the mill there. Hopefully you can see this. All right. Yeah, so I got the 2 posts when they're in where, okay, it's perpendicular here. Here's my blade, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But now, your second cut, see, you want it right there, because now, once you cut that, now you're going to turn again, and then you could cut your boards, right? But look at all that waste above it. Another option, instead of being so wasteful, is to recognize where you are here, and then back up a bit to get an extra board out of the log. So instead of this going to waste up here, say you're cutting 2 by whatevers, right? Instead of cutting this off and throwing it aside and then turning the board and having your slabs like this, now go from here, raise the blade up 2 inches, cut it, that's your waste, then come down 2 inches, cut it, and that's the same cut I'm doing right now. But you have all this wood to probably get an additional 2x6 out of. So it's a little bit more work, but it's really good wood. I worked hard for it. Let's use it. Hey Clara.
Hi.
What's going on? What do you got today?
From the presentation?
Huh?
From the presentation?
You did your presentation?
No, it's tomorrow.
Okay, did you practice?
At school?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. What do you have a presentation on, Clara? Tell everybody.
How to make pasta.
How to make what?
Pasta.
I'm sorry?
Pasta.
That's our favorite, isn't it, right, little buddy?
Yep.
Up 2 inches. Here. Count for. Well, anyway, that's a true 2x8. Probably get a nice, 2x8 out of it. If not a 2x6, definitely. But that would have went to the scrap pile. But now I got another board. I hit the back guard with the blade after I said let's be smart. I was dumb. Oh. It's still cutting pretty good. I mean, you notice an immediate decrease in performance. To be honest, I've cut some ash and oak with this blade already. That was pretty cold, and I know it was a little dull anyway, so now it's really dull. But there is no waviness to this board still. Look how cool that is. Isn't the pattern like just the saw blade marks? Isn't that cool? I'm gonna have that all over my house with the wall paneling. It's gonna be cool. All right, what do we want to do here? Let's see. Let's see. There's the pith. That pith is your enemy. So I was thinking I might rotate the board and cut 1 or 2. Let's see if I have 3 inches there. Bummer. So what do we got? 2 by 7 1/4. 7 1/2 here. It's like right there. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Let's see what it is on the other side. See if I'm gonna go through it. Or see if I'm gonna be somewhat lined up. I'm above it here. So I'll miss it here. I'll have a little bit of it there. I might have a little bit of waste on the cut after this one. Yeah, let's take one more cut and then we'll get rid of the pith.
What a mess.
Mommy, what did I teach her? I'm filling it with some salt. Ottoman, we call it. Ottoman, we can pretend to call it salt in our life. Because it kind of looks like salt. Thank you for your service of sawdust.
These are all wet. These are all wet.
Daddy,
It's all wet, right?
Daddy,
What?
you are the service of sawdust.
Oh, you're gonna get it all in your boots, Clara.
I'm wearing my dirty ones. So?
Ooh, it's cold.
Come on, push it in. Alright, good. do this often if you don't want to stick the screw into the board and pierce a hole in it. If you actually want to keep it nice, just use a piece of scrap. We finally resolved the issue with the Harbor Freight sawmill. There's a lot of these out there, guys. Take your 1¼ blades, no more. Put on 1.5 wide. My gauge is 0.055. It's 144 inches long. Okay, it fits and it works. I am no longer getting any waviness in the boards whatsoever. I've cut some ash, cut some oak. I just cut up this poplar. As a matter of fact, I hit the guard like an idiot yesterday with the blade. It got really dull and I was just like, whatever. I just finished the cut and it still wasn't wavy. So, and this board was pretty frozen too. Very nice results with this. These are Wood-Mizer 747s. And I'm going to put a shout out, I'm going to put a link in the video to where I found this information out. A fellow YouTuber, he does railroad tie making for the railroad company that he's near. I think he's in Kentucky. But anyway, I'll put a link to his video there, and you could listen to all the reasons why this is a better option. And I wanted to also thank him because I gave it a shot, and he's right. It's just a world of difference. So. I'm going to try something a little different here, guys. Basically, when I square off a log, meaning I get the log to then cut boards out of, right? You get it to a certain spot, and then ultimately you cut, lower the blade, cut, lower the blade, cut, and every pass is a new board that you acquire. What I'm going to do, I think, is cut out this shape here. I'm going to get this section cut out, then I'm going to cut 2 parallel lines, one this way and then one this way. Then I'll come back around and my boards are going to be cut like this, okay? Now instead of doing all those cuts, these would be 2x6s anyway, okay? And I did plan to get an extra 2x6 out of this section up here and another one out of here, and then everything else would pretty much be the waste. We'll see. Maybe I could get a 2x4 out of here and here, I don't know. But anyway, that's how I approach it, and we'll see where the pith ends up. But regardless, what I was thinking of doing, instead of doing that, I want to square up the board and then take it off. I then want to take the next log, do the same exact thing, take it off, and then a third log, same thing, and then add these back on. So basically you have this humongous 6x11 that we could all stack these right next to each other and make every pass that I would make, I'd be getting 3 boards out of, if that makes sense. So doing it that way, I'm thinking I would get more consistent cuts. I'd be saving time because I don't have to adjust the blade every single cut that I'm doing. I just think it has a lot of benefits. I'm going to do it for the first time. So let's see how that works. I did this one, and I did this one, then I just flipped it over, making sure these are exactly parallel off the deck, and now I'm going to come by. You should see the blade come through this 6-inch, if that's 6 inches. I mean, that was rough. But then I'm taking this log, and I'm going to take it off. I'm going to do the same thing to the second one and the third one, then I'm going to put all of them back on, and we'll start cutting some 2x6s. right. Wow.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I decided at the last second, I was like, they don't have to be exactly 1.5 inches. Just put them, like, set the ruler down 1.5 inch increments and just go with it, because these are just the deck boards.
Uh-huh.
So it's like whatever that.
As long as you're consistent.
I like that size. It's pretty beefy.
Yeah. You bet.
All right. Hey, this is working great, guys. I mean, it's like, what do you want? Do you want a faster cut or do you want more consistent results? I'd rather have consistency. So these are the deck boards. We're doing 2x6s, and every pass I make, I'm getting 3 deck boards out of now. So I was just, the gauge on the saw, I'm just dropping it 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. I'm not going for a particular dimension, being that they're just deck boards and we're going to put them through with screws. So yeah, I like this method. Keep it right there. You're okay. About it. Let it down slowly. Yep.
It is 9:06 on the nose.
On the nostrils. All right, guys, we're gonna see this for the first time together. Let's go check it out. It's raining and that thing is flowing. Looks like oh, okay, from the tracks. Well, well, well. This is cool. It was worth the walk. Look at that. Cool. So I definitely need some water management above it though, because it's coming across the road here from Well, I have a trail that goes up that way, and like I have tire tracks and all this stuff. It is the wet season here in Virginia, and it's just rain, rain, rain right before spring. And then once everything dries out, I'm really going to do some management of water from preventing it from, well, doing what it's doing right now. I could create like some kind of water bar and like direct all this like down into the creek too. But so ignoring this stuff on top here, here's the side it comes out. That is cool. And here's the side it's going in. And I really didn't even have a chance to come back and perfect all this. But it's pretty torrential rain that we just had. And I'm really happy with how this thing is working. That's cool. Good, thank you. Okay, whoop! What'd you do, Maddie? What'd you do? Did you push your sister? Now, should I put these in my ears?
Okay, everybody.
They were on the dirt. I had to clean them. Uh-huh.
Okay, ready, Autumn?
Silence is golden. It's warm.
Yeah,
Well, Meg doesn't look like it's warm. You look like Jack Nicholson with those glasses.
What? You do?
Yeah, you do. You look like the Joker in Batman.
Great. Thanks.
That's really funny because it's got like his mean brow type thing going on. And I'm gonna sneeze. So cool, it's gray. Cool looking. Be a cool color to like take to a paint shop and be like, yeah, color match this. I want my house to look like poplar. All right.